Last season, Embiid became the first center to lead the league in scoring since Shaquille O'Neal. He averaged a career-high 30.6 points on 49.9% shooting, to go with 11.7 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.5 blocks, and 1.1 steals per game. This year, he's averaging a league-leading 33.2 points on 53.9% shooting. Significant upgrades in both marks, along with 10.1 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.5 blocks, and 1.1 steals. He's also setting a new career high in true shooting percentage, .648, and effective field goal percentage, .567. All of that has Embiid squarely in the mix for this year's MVP award. Today's video will be about NBA players and analysts who think Joel Embiid is the MVP this season. Nikola Jokic may be the winner of 2 straight MVP awards, but Philadelphia's Joel Embiid is currently on track to win his first. And what has been a highly impressive season for the superstar so far, he has carried the 76ers on both ends of the floor, especially with injuries in the lineup. In November, Embiid went off for one of the best individual performances in basketball history in a win over the Jazz. Then, ESPN's Stephen A. Smith made it known that Embiid, at least on paper, is the best at his position.
As a talent, he's the best big man in the game. In terms of his talent, I'd even put him over Jokic. The brother is sensational. The problem is his durability is a question mark. And I think that he's been less than awe-inspiring. The Philadelphia 76ers are a 500 team at 7-7. Let me tell you something. That they got to do something. They got to be better than this when you got a talent like Embiid. He is, as a talent, the best big man in basketball.
You know who else?
Unlike many of his peers, Embiid actually has a lot of playoff experience. Throughout the years, he has made several playoff runs, though each one has fallen short of the ultimate prize. This season, even counting their rough start, Embiid's only goal is to bring his team to the promised land. The 76ers have been rolling this season. The franchise has won a whopping 7 of its last 10 games, with a 4-game winning streak. And during a period where other players such as Nikola Jokic and Jason Tatum are enjoying the limelight, Joel Embiid has been quietly going above and beyond. Through this man's efforts, Philadelphia now stands proud as one of the top seeds in a more competitive than usual Eastern Conference. This is great. But is it enough to get Joel Embiid MVP this season? Skip Bayless recently went to Twitter to give his highly controversial thoughts on the matter. What's new there? So far, the NBA MVP ladder has been a deeply competitive one. After all, this season has been filled with multiple players going above and beyond where they've been before. Among these players, there are Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic, a pair that has been in all the talks for MVP. However, if it were up to Skip Bayless, apparently things would be very, very different. Take a look at the man's recent tweet below. So far, Joel Embiid is the NBA MVP. Fast forward to Joel Embiid putting up an astonishing performance to beat the #1 seed Nuggets with 47 points and 18 rebounds. This dominating display has solidified his MVP case even further. And in the eyes of Skip, there is no debate. He said on First Take that Embiid made the Joker, Jokic, look like a joke, with no R on it.
I saw it.
I watched Joel Embiid destroy Joker on Saturday in Philadelphia. I saw Joel Embiid, my MVP so far this season, go for 47, 18, and 5 assists against the Joker and made him look like a joke. Joke with no R on it. Just joke.
Joel Embiid has finished MVP runner-up to Nikola Jokic in back-to-back seasons now. This year, Jokic is putting up sensational numbers once again. But so is Embiid. Embiid has been near the top of the league in scoring at 33.2 points per game almost all season. Jokic, on the other hand, is averaging 25 points, but he is also putting up 11 rebounds and 10 assists. Jokic is doing all of this with incredible efficiency too. It's no secret that Embiid is Philly's best player, and that this team is going to struggle without him in the lineup. The 5-time All-Star has been an absolute beast for the Sixers yet again this season. And it's a known fact that his play will determine the level of success Philadelphia will attain this season. One man who has been impressed by Embiid's heroics this year is none other than Sixers icon Julius Irving. The Hall of Famer recently spoke to ESPN's Malika Andrews to reveal his MVP pick thus far.
I mean, I'm from New York, but Philly's my second home. So I got to go with Joel. He's been knocking at the door, 2 years. came up just short. He's constantly challenging himself. And what do I have to do? Now he's leading the league in scoring. And I don't know if it's going to end up like that at the end of the year, but he would be my choice as the favorite for it.
Irving did point out as well, however, that Embiid will be relying heavily on his supporting cast this season. He's clearly the best player on his squad, but he can't do it all by himself. Everyone else around Joel Embiid will need to step up if the Sixers want to go all the way this year. Watching Embiid leave last year awardless is a massive bummer for any Philadelphia 76ers fan who has watched number 21 put the team on his back and will them into the championship picture. Will they look back in a few years with the sobering eyes of hindsight and collectively accept that Embiid's second-place finish was an all-time flub? Yeah, probably. As some folks, including voters for the very prestigious award, are already having proverbial buyer's remorse for what is supposed to be the greatest individual award in the great game of basketball. But do you know who isn't backtracking on his MVP predictions? Kendrick Perkins, as he's been advocating for the Philadelphia 76ers center to win the award for months now. In sports, as in life, story matters. Extenuating circumstances can change the perception of a win, make an underdog player an instant legend, and put an asterisk on a Mickey Mouse championship based on where it was played. In the opinion of NBA center turned ESPN pundit and part-time clown Kendrick Perkins, no player had a better narrative surrounding their MVP run than Philadelphia 76ers center Joel Embiid. Big Perk talked about certain plays from a game while complimenting Embiid on his pick-and-pop game, his ability to stretch the floor and knock down the three, and how he makes it look so easy on block.
We talk about Giannis, Jokic, Ja, Luka. Got to talk about him in the MVP conversation as well. Philly right there in the...
After coming up short in his MVP pursuit a season prior, watching Ben Simmons quit on his team before the current season could even begin, and have the narrative surrounding his team either outright ignored or viewed as incomplete until the trade deadline passed, Embiid came back better than ever, with a newfound maturity both on and off the court, and pushed his team to a height previously unimaginable. Down the team's primary point guard and the best perimeter defender, Embiid embraced playing with Tyrese Maxey despite his lack of experience running the point, and hyped up his younger foil any chance he got. Embiid kept the team afloat as they waited for a potential trade, elevated his efforts at both ends of the court at an incredibly high usage rate, and, most importantly of all, kept his team together when a lesser star might allow infighting to tank the season, with Embiid performing like one of the best players in the world. Daryl Morey elevated his pursuit of talent and walked away from last year's trade deadline with James Harden, his former franchise player and one of the most complimentary facilitators in the association. Whether some worried that the two stars may butt heads, Harden bought into Doc Rivers' culture, and now the 76ers are looking as good as ever in the East. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Do you think Joel Embiid can finally win the MVP this season? How far can he take the Sixers in the playoffs? I would love to hear your opinion, so please let me know what you think in the comments section. Oh, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and hit that notifications button below for more amazing NBA content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!